Desk. As cold air returns to the nation's midsection, two atmospheric rivers bring a threat of significant flooding to the Pacific Northwest.
Between Monday morning and Tuesday night, national models say the Skagit River could rise as much as 12 feet.
6 months after a storm destroyed a Texas TV studio, a meteorologist who was in the building returns to see the damage.
Enough to lift this carport out of the ground and then smack into this 200-foot tall tower.
The spread of golden mussels threatens California's water systems, ecosystems, and recreation.
This is an epidemic. We have no idea what we're up against.
And the rare sight at this weekend's eruption of Hawaii's Kilauea volcano.
From our nation's capital, this is the National Weather Desk.
Good morning and welcome to the National Weather Desk. I'm Angela Brown. Bitter cold will once again be the big weather headline this week as a fresh batch of Arctic air plunges into the nation. Over the weekend, more than 6 inches of snow fell across parts of Iowa and southern Minnesota. Iowa State Police say they responded to 81 crashes that injured 11 people. Thankfully, though, there were no deaths. And in Chicago, it's the snowiest start to winter since 1978. With 17 inches of snow so far, the city has nearly exceeded last year's total for the entire winter. This morning, though, overnight lows were in the single digits across many of those same places. Later today, that cold air falls into the south with temperatures staying in the 40s across North Carolina, Tennessee, and Arkansas. And by the end of the week, we could be talking about the coldest air of the season. Meantime, the Pacific Northwest is getting not one, but two atmospheric rivers. Starting today, those storms are expected to dump a week's worth of rain on Washington, Oregon, and even into Montana. Seattle meteorologist Stella Sun shows us what they are expecting.
So we've got a concentrated band of moisture, and it's got tropical DNA. It's coming from Hawaii, and with it comes warmer air. It's going to help the snow levels rise to about 6,000 feet and above. So the impacts will start tomorrow. We're going to have a lull period on Tuesday, but if you live in southern Washington, you're going to continue to get pounded with rain, and then on Wednesday, it's going to ramp back up. There is also the potential that we could be seeing some landslide risk with the saturated soils.
And all that water raises the risk of flooding. People who live and work along several rivers are preparing already for high water. Tyler Cunnington has details.
A downpour of rainfall this week, projecting that both the Skagit and Snohomish rivers will hit moderate, if not major, flood levels, according to the National Water Prediction Service.
I have a neighbor that warned us that this is coming.
The Mikeys live up the hill from downtown Mount Vernon and say the 2023 flooding in the city was a sight they won't forget.
Unbelievable. And you see all these logs coming down the river, and they hit the bridge over here, and they pile up. And it looks pretty scary.
Between Monday morning and Tuesday night, national models say the Skagit River could rise as much as 12 feet, but could retreat to minor flooding by Friday afternoon.
We're worried. We're concerned about it.
Meanwhile, models also project the Snohomish River could swell up to 11 feet, reaching moderate to almost major flood levels, and will hover there until early Friday morning.
Tuesday going into Wednesday, by Wednesday afternoon, we should have an idea of how significant the event is.
County emergency leaders say to check storm drains and culverts in your area and avoid driving into flooded roads.
It only takes a foot of water to float a small vehicle, and it takes less than 2 feet to float a large SUV or truck. So, and you can't tell how deep the water is, particularly when it's dark during commute times.
Flooding conditions that could actually be prolonged by the king tides hitting into our coastline.
With that water coming in from the coast and pushing up against the rivers, it's not going to let the rivers drain the way they normally would.
Well, it's been 6 months since a powerful microburst destroyed our studio at our station, Abilene, Texas. The June 8th storm packed 90-mile-per-hour winds when it hit the building, sending the roof crashing to the ground. Meteorologist Caden Dinkins was tracking the storms right up until the building was hit.
A microburst occurs when hail and rain within the storm evaporates, which then cools the air and it becomes more dense. The denser air drops quickly to the ground in a localized area, then spreads out when it hits the ground. Microbursts are brief, hard to predict, and can cause similar damage to a tornado without the rotation. In our real-life scenario here at the station, the microburst likely hit somewhere in this parking lot area, enough to lift this carport out of the ground and then smack into this 200-foot tall tower that is held by guide wires. And then those guide wires slammed into our building. These guide wires that are on the back of our building are what caused the most damage to our garage. The garage collapsed down after the tension of the guide wires hit it. And then just 50 feet behind this garage is where Mark and I were in the station. It just puts it into perspective. I don't really like to think about it that often, but when I do, it definitely is. It's a bit harder.
An unusual scene unfolded over the weekend at the Kilauea volcano in Hawaii. Not only was it spewing a fountain of lava 1,000 feet into the air, but at 9:15 Saturday morning, there was a rare triple fountain with 3 vents erupting at the same time. Now, the eruption ended up destroying a U.S. Geological Survey camera as it was streaming live. You can see it there from the Big Island. After about 9 hours, the lava stopped flowing. This was the 38th so-called eruption episode since the volcano began this cycle last December. Well, winter is off to a fast start in Minnesota. A combination of early snowfall and cold temperatures gives cross-country skiers a reason to smile. John Lorenstein is just west of Minneapolis with details.
I'm going to try to do 10K and then wrap it up because it's my first ski of the year and I don't want to be too sore tomorrow.
A combination of cold weather and fresh powder serves as a beacon for cross-country skiers eager to hit the trails.
Well, I'd say cross-country skiers are the interesting group that when they see temps drop, we get pumped.
We always have winter at Worth regardless of natural snow, but this year we not only have, we'll eventually have 7 kilometers of machine-made snow, but we also have up to 30 kilometers of natural snow that will fill in here over the next couple of weeks.
It's definitely a different feel than what they've seen in recent years. This is the natural snow area of Theo Worth Park, and for the past 3 years, they haven't been able to ski here due to a lack of snow. Now, during the first week of December, that isn't a problem.
Yeah. But just having the addition of the natural trails this year has opened up just so much and is one of the best parts of living in Minnesota.
They only hope the winter wonderland sticks around for the rest of the season.
To be able to do this in early December is huge for Minnesota nowadays.
There's an amazing sense of freedom of just being able to hit the slopes, and I think for many of us right now, you can clear your head and just be in the moment.
That sounds good. Several Wisconsin college students are trying to raise awareness about the impact of the overuse of road salt. Philip Bordeaux reports that includes its impact on water quality and the environment.
Gwen Fiedel, Madison Parker, Rico Franklin, and Abigail Walla are all environmental science majors. They are preparing a presentation of what they learned from researching road salt this past semester.
Soil impacts, the health impacts, it destroys plants.
Fiedel says she focused on overuse of road salt and the harm it can have on water quality.
Since we source our water from local water sources, so like the aquifers that are now getting salty, that's entering our pipes. And those pipes some of them are made of lead or heavy metals. The salt will corrode the heavy metal pipes, and that can cause lead in drinking water.
Parker then looked into alternatives like salt brine.
We want to promote salt brine because we can use less of it as well. You're cutting down at least 75%.
However, Franklin and Walla have also found that legislative action could also help reduce the amount of road salt use.
Set limit on how much could be stored and actually used at a time. And yeah, probably look at the weather and figure out, yeah, we're only getting 2 inches of snow. You don't need to lay a half ton of salt down.
Joshua Rupplinger oversees the grounds crew that clears snow at UW Oshkosh. He says while they still use road salt, these students have given them extra motivation to reduce its usage, including the decision to not clear every area of campus.
Our proximity right to the Fox River is significant. So the amount of salt we're putting down is going to greatly affect anything and everything around us.
And you can always find content like this and much more on our social media pages. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X. Just search the National Weather Desk. and give us a follow. And coming up on the National Weather Desk, the weather app you can trust to deliver accurate information, and California's waterways are under threat from the rapid spread of golden mussels.
I'm meteorologist Ryan Munn. Let's get a look at the Northeast. We head through the day on Monday. We are talking lots of sunshine, but very, very cold temperatures. Take a look at some of these high temperatures throughout the region. It will be windy as well. Single-digit wind chills for much of the Northeast. We head through the day on Monday, and then clouds will increase for the day on Tuesday. Some light snow showers will develop for areas as we head into Tuesday night. Another system likely on Wednesday. High temperatures today only running in the 20s.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Gerard Jabali. Here's a look at the Mid-Atlantic region. A disturbance passing to the south will actually bring some rain and snow everywhere from around Virginia Beach all the way down. Southern Maryland may get clipped by some of that snowfall, but it looks dry everywhere else to the north. A strong front will be moving through and knocking temperatures back behind that system, so it's already quite chilly. We'll begin with temperatures in the 30s for highs on Monday behind that front. It will be very cold Monday night. By Tuesday, though, we'll start to recover upper 30s.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Vitas Reed. Here's a look at your southeast forecast highs. 39 degrees in Nashville as well as Raleigh. 54 in Macon, 56 in Pensacola, Mobile 55. Temperatures about 82 in West Palm. Cold front's pushing through the southeast. As it does so, it's dropping some showers, some thunderstorms in the south. But snow showers up there over parts of Virginia and up around Raleigh. Looks like they're getting a little bit of accumulating snow, but then we clear out as we get into Monday night, Tuesday.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
In Michigan, recent snowfall in the Kalamazoo area Sunday morning, and this lonely leaf sticking out of the snow, maybe it's waving goodbye to the fall as winter weather settles in. At second glance, it resembles the shape of Michigan's Lower Peninsula. And this lifelike holiday decoration is alive. A real deer decided to join this laser Christmas display.
California is in a fight against a golden mussel invasion. The invasive species is causing big and expensive problems in the state's waters. A few weeks ago, we showed you the impact to farmers. This morning, reporter Christina Rodriguez is at the Port of Stockton, where the marine community is facing some big challenges.
That is the sound of $28,000 worth of maintenance to scrape off golden mussels from this boat at the Port of Stockton.
They're just blanketed. I mean, hundreds of pounds of blanketing. Anything that's hardened surface, steel, concrete, they attach to and procreate. If you think about a straw going into the water, which is a steel pipe, what happens is they attach to the outside as well as the inside, and they'll reduce the volumetric flow, the amount of water that gets pumped through those, to the point where they'll shut down.
But he is not alone. Many locals, boaters, and fishermen are worried about the risk of the golden mussel invasion in California. The impact is great and inevitable if a solution to stop the species doesn't come soon. Farmers, waterways, recreation, and in turn, the economy will all feel the wave.
And the fact of that, in the number of thousands of pipelines that are inside this Delta region, we could be severely impacted. And that's only the Delta.
State agencies and locals are having to do more frequent maintenance to avoid damage to their vessels, which means a lot more money out of pocket.
This is an epidemic. We have no idea what we're up against.
Local organizers say time is of the essence for the government to step in, fund research, and find a solution that will end the species without impacting other wildlife. The Port of Stockton is seeing firsthand the impact of the species and the threat it can be if it spreads to other recreational lakes.
They have sterilization points now. You can't enter the lake with a boat that hasn't been fully sterilized.
Locals say although costly, to stop the spread, maintenance is key. Clean, drain, and dry is the motto to extinct golden mussels.
Now to Wisconsin, where frigid temperatures have some anglers excited for ice fishing. They need to wait just a little bit longer for safety's sake. Tony Longfellow has more.
Although temperatures have plummeted in the Badger State, lakes are still in the process of freezing. The Wisconsin DNR reminds ice anglers that no ice is 100% safe.
It just can vary in thickness so much. I mean, you might have underground springs or, underwater springs or currents or things like that you just don't see.
But that's not stopping people from gearing up for the fast approaching ice fishing season.
Yeah, it's still a little early. The Lake Winnebago just kind of locked up. I would just kind of stay off Lake Winnebago, the main lake right now.
Bill Lodi, owner of Rip and Lips Tackle in Stockbridge, says ice anglers itching to get out should wait at least a few more days before walking out there. He expects some people will start heading out this weekend. That's a change from recent years when ice fishing didn't start until almost January.
Everybody's kind of chewing at the bit to get out, but again, you got to keep safety in mind, number one. You don't want to go out walking around aimlessly and end up getting into a situation out there.
The sudden switch to winter this year is also a promising sign for businesses like Lodi's relying on the cold.
The crystal ball says we're early with ice. The fishery's in a great position. Should be a fantastic season.
And even when lake ice is solid, there's always the risk someone can fall through. That is why sportsmen clubs in Green Bay area are coming together to make sure the best equipment is available for emergency crews. Ben Krumholtz has more about the latest edition, one that will make a difference when minutes can mean the difference between life and death.
When seconds matter, when someone's in the water, we want to be able to get there quickly as fast as we can.
It's a piece of equipment the Suamico Fire Department hopes it never has to use. But this ice rescue sled is going to save valuable time when responding to someone in the water.
These guys go and risk their lives every day to go out and rescue people, to help them stay safe. I think it's very important.
Jim Pyle is the president of the Green Bay Area Great Lakes Sports Fishermen. The group, along with other outdoor recreation clubs, purchased an ice rescue sled for Green Bay Metro Fire and now for Suamico's fire department.
So our next option that we want to do is raise one more to put over on the east side because there's a lot of rescues that happened last year. So we have 3 of them covering that entire lower bay.
Having a sled in Suamico a few months earlier might have made a difference for an 87-year-old fisherman who lost his life.
We literally heard that gentleman cry for help, but it took time to get out there.
On that December night 1 year ago, this inflatable sled was the fire department's only option. We timed how long it took to prepare, and it was more than 2 minutes versus the new sled, which is ready instantly.
We weren't able to find him right away because it was dark out, but it would have made probably a difference potentially.
And lots of snow fell in northern Michigan last week, more than 2 feet in some places. Snowfall totals come from the National Weather Service, but how do those scientists calculate the official numbers? Meteorologist Ethan Foreman has more and says there's a specific way to get accurate snow measurements.
There are certain items you need to accurately measure snowfall, according to Pat Bach, the warning coordination meteorologist at the National Weather Service in Gaylord. One of those includes a specific type of ruler or measuring device.
For snow measurements, since we measure snow to the nearest tenth of an inch, you might need to find a special ruler that's made that has those increments on there.
This is one of the more accurate ways of measuring snowfall, by putting a ruler on a flat surface.
We talk about something called a snowboard, which is like a painted white piece of plywood or something like that, or plastic. that is set on top of the snowpack.
Measuring in a snowdrift is also a way not to measure snowfall, as this snowdrift over here measures almost 3 feet of snow. It is a good idea to have several measurements when trying to give an accurate snowfall total.
Sometimes you could take an average of measurements from more than one location. So like if you have, say you measure in 3 locations, you add those up, divide by 3, and that gives you the average.
This is a reminder that snowfall totals can vary like crazy, even just a couple miles down the road.
Lake effect snow is extremely variable over short distances. I mean, in the same county, you might have, if a band is kind of stationary, you could have one part of the county that's getting absolutely hammered by heavy snow, and you could actually have sunlight in another part of the county.
And as we go to break, a look at holiday lights display right here at Olney, Maryland.
Well, a very good Monday morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Andrew Buck-Michael. Some snow showers across the northern plains today up there in the North Dakota and Minnesota. And also a little bit of snow kicking its way across the Kentucky, West Virginia area. For the day tomorrow, we're watching more snow showers starting to kind of race their way in from the north later in the day on Tuesday. And that works its way more to the Great Lakes in the Ohio Valley by Wednesday.
Good Monday morning. I'm meteorologist Joe DiCarlo. Looked forecast across the region. It's a cold start, 20s, 30s, and 40s across much of the region. We're clear skies. We have more cloud cover around New Orleans today. Temperatures in the 50s for the afternoon, 40s and 60s with plenty of sunshine for the rest of the region. As we head into your Tuesday, we're warming up, so it's a milder start, and the afternoons are warmer, ranging from the 50s to around 70.
Good Monday morning, everybody. I'm meteorologist Stella Sun. An atmospheric river will be bringing downpours of rain for much of the Pacific Northwest. Meanwhile, mountain snow will continue through parts of the Idaho Panhandle and through western Montana. Winds will also be gusty through much of the Pacific Northwest. Meanwhile, daytime highs will be nice and mild in the middle 70s from LA through San Diego, stretching through the Valley of the Sun. 50s from Denver to Salt Lake City, with warmer air expected through Seattle.
I'm Mitchell Coombs, meteorologist at NBC Montana, right here in western Montana, and you're watching the National Weather Desk.
You have heard it here that local meteorologists are the best way to get your weather forecast, but we know sometimes your phone is a lot easier. So if you use your phone to check the weather, what apps are the best? Meteorologist Christina Ernie shares a list of her favorites.
I'm a TV meteorologist, and these are the 3 apps I trust for getting my weather. Number 1, a real-time radar app like RadarScope. You can track storms as they're happening and as conditions move into and out of your area wherever you are. Number 2, the Windy app. Winds help tell where storms are located and what's moving into your area. So this app shows you weather patterns currently and out 2 days. It shows winds in areas of pressure. Number 3, your local meteorologist's app. Compared to other generic apps that pump out forecasts made by robots, your local team updates temperatures, conditions, and more a few times a day. It's way more accurate and also easy to understand.
And we'd love to share your weather content on the air. You can find us on all your favorite social media platforms. Just search the National Weather Desk. We'll be right back. And thank you so much for joining us. I'm Angela Brown. Make it a great day, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow.